Best Buy is looking to be the next Bud Light in terms of scandals as they have dropped a program that exclusively targets whites and excludes them from the program. This is open discrimination, not even hiding it against white employees. And they've already had to react to this. There's been backlash, controversy. We're going to get into it and get into everything that's come from this for Best Buy and what's going on here in the law, how they've tried to skirt the law, and how this entirely has backfired on Best Buy. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a legal mindset where we teach you to be your own judge. So we're going to jump right into it with Best Buy. Now, Best Buy is a company, frankly, that I'm always surprised is still around. Best Buy, as far as I've known for the past decade, 2 decades, to me, it's just really been a showcase for Amazon. Most people will go ahead and they'll go in there, they'll look at a computer or equipment or whatever else, and then they'll proceed to buy it online or from somewhere else because you can always find something cheaper online or elsewhere than Best Buy. What Best Buy is great for is, hey, you want to walk in and look at the computers, touch them, feel them, pick them up, see how heavy your laptop is, if it's light enough for you. That's great. Go to Best Buy, check it out. Just walk right out of the store. Don't buy it online for less. That's what most people have been doing with Best Buy, and frankly, I'm surprised they've made it at all in the past 10, 20 years. However, it seems like they're pushing themselves over the edge with potential lawsuits here as they have dropped a program that was exclusively targeting white employees as not eligible for the program. So this was actually broke by James O'Keefe of his O'Keefe Media Group. And shout out to James. They tried to push him out. They tried to silence him, but look at the hard-hitting stuff he's been bringing us. And I'll maximize this so you guys can see this here. So this was dropped by James O'Keefe a couple days ago, which says a citizen journalist has revealed that Best Buy is partnering with McKinsey & Company on a management training program. This program is not open to white applicants. Candidates must, not may, must meet the racial requirements below. And he drops these programs. Now, I'm going to show you the main document here, which is this flyer from McKinsey. And it talks about this professional development program. So this is a management accelerator program. So what Best Buy is going to say here, what their legal defense is, and I can predict their strategy here is saying, hey, this is not hiring and firing because it is illegal, and it would be illegal to post a position, to post a management position or post a employment position and say, hey, this isn't open to white people. That is clearly illegal. That is on its face illegal. What they're going to try to say here is it's a management training program. It's an accelerator program, but it's not the position itself, right? This doesn't guarantee you into management. It's just meant to fast track you. Well, it's an advantage in a corporation that gives you an unfair step up based on your race. Now, what they're also going to say is if you look at the categories here, under the criteria, they say you need to meet the requirements below. You're currently working in a salaried role, so you're a salaried employee. You've worked more than a year in Best Buy. And now here we go. You identify as Black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, or Pacific Islander. I guess what they could defend themselves with is say anybody can identify as anything. So a white employee can identify as Black or Latino, Asian, or Pacific Islander. You can identify as whatever you want. So you select that box, no matter what skin color you have, you select that box, whatever your ancestry, whatever else. You can identify as Black. I can identify as Black. What's to stop me? Who knows my racial makeup? Who can go back in and do the 23andMe on me as an individual? I can identify as that if I choose to identify as that. However, that is not going to fly. That argument, I'll tell you guys right now, that's open discrimination. That wouldn't fly. And imagine if this was flipped. If this was flipped and this was something that said, okay, the only people that can apply to this have to identify as white, right? You can't identify as Black, Latino, Hispanic. That would 100% end up in court, and they would 100% end up winning on that. So I don't understand where people come from thinking, okay, we're going to be able to treat white people differently than everybody else in America. If you identify as white, or by the way, any nationality that's not listed on here, because there's some people that might not identify as Black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, or Pacific Islander. How about Native Americans, right? How about, let's say people like East Indians don't necessarily identify as Asian. Maybe they want to identify as a subcontext there. Maybe there's people in Africa who don't want to identify as Black. Maybe they don't want to identify as whatever else. That's their prerogative, right? So you're excluding those people as well. Very, very interesting choice there. And you can see further the emails. This is an email confirmation, which kind of follows up on this, which says, in 2020, they started their actions to support racial justice and equity. So obviously this is a George Floyd era movement. And they started these leadership academies, and these are designed for individuals interested in transitioning into management. So this is supposed to be for people to give them an edge up for management. And it goes right into the criteria. US-based contributor, Asian, Black, Hispanic, or Latinx, and 2+ years in a current role. So this is something that McKinsey has been pushing for a while. So you see these are programs that they're really dug in on in terms of hiring, but they're getting intense backlash from this in social media. They also got backlash because of their resource groups. Now, I've talked about ERGs, these employee resource groups, in the context of Disney. Many of you follow me for my Disney content, and this definitely ties in with Disney. Disney has these as well. Many corporations have these as well, but they got pushed back because at the exact same time they rebranded, they're pushing this equity diversity. And, you know, of course they say upper right here, we're all in on inclusion and diversity, which, by the way, all this means is they're all in on open discrimination. So they had these groups here with the QR codes for you to join them. Now, these are kind of little, let's say they're little like activist groups within the organization, which you're supposed to only join the one that you racially identify. So there's segregation there. So you QR code scan through that. Of course, you have Asian, Black, disabilities, Indigenous, Latinx, military, pride, women's. And of course, what is missing here? Well, the white group. Well, it turns out that after all the pushback they got from both looking at these ERG groups as well as these applications here that James O'Keefe brought up for this management program, well, guess what they went and did? They ended up adding a white resource group, and this is something put out by Best Buy. In our effort to create a diversive environment, we overlooked our white associates. That this cannot be more telling. And almost the just saying it that way, we overlooked our white associates. We apologized and created an employee resource group for our white team member. Whites employee resource group. Guys, can you imagine this? Is this not a PR disaster? You literally are segregating people by race in your corporation. You are actually segregating people by race. Absolutely fantastic. Now, what is not fantastic is it seems that the whistleblower that went public was put on paid leave. They sent in a state trooper to kind of search things. So obviously they're looking for any potential crimes here. They're going to try to punish this individual. So there may be legal action coming from this. So guys, this is a lesson, kind of a watchful lesson from Best Buy. I'm going to stay on top of this because obviously if there's litigation that comes from this, I'll be all over that. This is absolutely something that could be actionable for those employees of Best Buy that, hey, maybe they wanted to be part of the management program and they can't be. Absolutely something that is disgusting. It's really vile, and it shows you how regressive this push for equity really is. It's far from these calls for equality back in the day. Until next time, guys, peace.